Welcome to another edition of Hardcore Wrestling Rants. I am your hardcore host, Rick Kidd, and I'm joined by the hardcore crew. First, from the Skeldon Realms, he's the Lord Skeldon himself, Joseph Knight. Joe, what's going on?
Not much. Watching out for a crazy tornado that might come my way. But let's see what happens.
All right. And of course, we have the lovely Vicious Vixen, Zoe Nightshade. Zoe, how are we doing, hon?
Still recuperating from the match this weekend.
Yeah, I heard you had a crazy match. So, Lance, and of course we have the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV. Lance, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. And Joe, if you run into Dorothy and Toto, go after the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, I plan to take over Oz, and I plan to take over the whole army of the Wicked Witch.
Why am I sitting here waiting for a short joke?
Insert short joke here.
What's that?
Well, tell them you already know the leader of the Lollipop Guild.
Shit, I'll start grabbing all those little munchkins and putting them to wrestle as midget wrestlers.
My people!
If I can grab King Kong Bundy and bring him back and say, hey, Bundy, smash a couple of them for me.
All right, you know what, guys? Well, we still have a few technicals. We are doing multi-streaming right now. We are on we're on Twitter or X, whichever one you want to call. We're on YouTube, and we were supposed to be on YouTube. On our Facebook chat room tonight, but apparently this is still an issue, so we have a technical problem. So we're just gonna skip that for tonight, and I will copy it over to our main chat.
Boss,
Yep.
Facebook's working.
It is okay, according to my menu. It's not working, but all right, fuck it. If it's working, good.
Yeah, on Wrestle Rants, yeah.
All right. Well, let's get on to some news right now. Now, guys, we all saw the CM Punk Jack Perry backstage that was released last week on Dynamite, and there's been really a lot of negative feedback from it. I'm talking about all the higher ups, and like they are all saying that there was no reason for it. What was the purpose of this? And it was just, it made them look bad. And for those of you, I listened to CM Punk's promo before, and where CM Punk was pretty much trash talking Jack Perry, and he was talking everything, how he never hit him, never did this and that. He was very calm and collective. You watch the video, CM Punk was not calm and collective. He was not just sitting there talking to him. He was screaming at him. In fact, he did hit him with CJ Perry, had his hands at his hips. So, Joe, what do you make of all this craziness?
Well, it's typical Punk who wants to turn the narrative around, but you got to always also point this out, too. There was a lot of exchange between him and Jack Perry. So Jack is not the innocent little guy here.
I'm not saying he is. But, again, CM Punk was the one who actually made the first, move. If you watch the video, the whole time he has his hands at his hip, and Punk literally, storms up to him and gets right in his face. And Punk was...
Yeah. You could see it directly where Punk is just getting in his face. Now, like I said, what happened prior to this video, like what happened before they met or whatever, is still up in the air. Because, again, everything is hearsay. But as of right now, it looks bad on Punk,
Yeah, exactly. Zoe, your thoughts, what's going on with all this crazy?
I wish that we could have had some audio with it. Yeah, they were exchanging words and everything, but Punk was the physical aggressor of the situation.
Absolutely.
I feel like AEW released this footage because of Punk's explanation as to what had happened, so they could sit there and be like, okay, well, you want to tell your side, let us show our side. And poor old Hook, I felt so bad for him. He just kind of looked around like, what do I do?
Yeah, he's just like, I'm not getting involved in this either way, but,
Yeah.
But, Lance, final thoughts on the whole situation.
Okay. One, I think they instantly regretted releasing the footage as soon as they put it out because, one, anybody that tries to put it on any form of social media, it gets taken down. And then, well, I'm on AEW's YouTube page. They have the Young Bucks and FTR segment where the Bucks were talking trash, and then they showed this footage. Except for in this YouTube clip, it has the beginning and the end. They scrubbed this from that segment.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand to a point why they only wanted to show a certain footage. The storyline, according to them, is the Bucks is they're trying to, use it as a curve for FDR, but I really don't really see it. I mean, it's clearly, obviously directed towards Punk and trying to contradict what he had said in that interview the previous week in the MMA Hour.
Now, one question I did have, and now Joe and Zoe, y'all probably know best here. If you have two guys just jaw-jacking at each other in the gorilla position, if you will, wouldn't somebody trying to get in the middle of there and kind of get some space between them?
I think they were trying to hope to hash it out, because even though sometimes tempers do rise, you would figure that maybe they'll prevail. But honestly, I think Punk was looking to get out. He wanted to get out of the business, AEW. He wanted out of that company. There was no doubt about that one way or another. And I think him getting in yet another fight and threatening Tony Khan, which I don't know if he said he did or didn't, whatever, obviously did the trick. But now the same people who were, like when CM Punk first came into AEW, I remember everybody saying, you know what, this guy's not going to do any good, unless, of course, you were Punk fans. Eric Bischoff, I remember he said, he's not doing anything for that company. He's not that great of a talent. But once he left and went to WWE, he completely changed his tune about how Punk's doing great. It's it's awesome. This is they're going to do great things. And I'm like,
again, the way Bischoff is, Tony Khan could be handing out $1,000 bills to thousands of dollars to his fans, and Bischoff would say he would never draw a dime.
Yeah, exactly. So it's obviously favoritism, and anybody who's affiliated with the WWE, whether it be Busted Open Radio or Booker T, as much as I respect all of these legends, they are definitely in favor of WWE one way or another, So, I mean, that'd be like asking if Eric Bischoff, asking Triple H if he thinks that AEW is better than NXT. It's not going to happen. And let me make it clear, guys. This is my rant. I love AEW, but I understand it's not better than WWE. I understand that WWE is a far bigger monster. So, let's get that one out of there. And with that, I think we could move on. This past Monday on Raw, Rhea Ripley reluctantly relinquished her WWE Women's title last night due to her shoulder being injured on a spot backstage against Liv Morgan last week. Rhea Ripley will be out of action for several months and will not be able to defend her championship, which is why they asked her to drop the title. Lance, your thoughts on Rhea Ripley being forced to drop this title?
Well, whoever has it when Rhea comes back, y'all are fucked. But yeah, I hate to see a champ or somebody that's carrying a belt have to relinquish it this way. Especially somebody that's held the damn thing for over a year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and she was really getting the pop. She was, she was definitely over with the fans. So, Zoe, let me ask you this question. Considering it was Liv Morgan that put her out of action, don't you think Liv Morgan should eventually be the one who wins the title? So when Rhea Ripley comes back, she takes back her title from Liv Morgan?
I think that should happen, honestly, because I was sitting here thinking about this today. I was like, Rhea turned on Liv, beat the living piss out of her, and now Liv's kind of repaying that favor. She should get the belt, and whenever Rhea comes back, there's going to be more to the story. She's going to be repaying that favor and getting her title back. But then I was also sitting there thinking to myself, and a joke came to my mind. I was like, well, maybe while Rhea is out, Charlotte's going to come back, be moved to Raw, and end up being champion again.
Yeah. Joe, final thoughts.
But you know what? Since it was Liz's fault, and Liz is great eye candy. She's not a worker. I'm sorry. You know, here's what I would have done. Since you just damaged a powerful champion that people got behind and all that because of stupidity, I would throw her back on NXT with no title hopes for a whole year until she proves herself. You know, it's now, and if for them to reward her by any chance by giving her a belt, no.
Okay.
That shows the lousy WWE booking. So,
Okay. I need to clear one thing up. The spot was not Liv's doing. Rhea just ran into the fucking wall and dislocated her shoulder. So this is 100%. Yeah.
So, in my opinion, so Liz should never be anywhere near wrestling ring unless it's something extremely simple. She is, again, great eye candy, great on the eyes, but lousy in the ring. So she needs to really be put back in NXT. Let her train with the up-and-comers. Let her learn finally how to really wrestle. Because the only reason she got boosted up was because she was part of the Riot Squad. And she had that little Harley Quinn type thing. Then they felt pity for her because she did the whole tear bullshit. So now it's like, well, you know what? Is it now? Before I continue more, is it a legit injury or is it?
Yes.
Yes, it is a legitimate injury.
Then definitely, you know, just involving Liz is like, no, you should have never involved her in the first place. And Rhea should have known better than to run full steam into a situation where she was going to get injured. I hope she gets well quickly. You know, take the time off. Definitely to heal, get herself back at 100%. You know, she's damn drop dead gorgeous. Love her now with the long hair. She had her great WrestleMania moment. She just finally feated Cher. And, you know, it's thank God, you know, she lasted this long. She can now say that nobody's ever defeated her. And she had to give up the belt. So we'll see. With the way crazy shit is, they'll probably give it to Becky Lynch. Just to, okay, here you skinny, ugly broad, take this now.
Have they said, like, if Rhea's going to have surgery or anything like that?
They just said that she's going to be out for 4 to 6 months, so I'm guessing surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's the reports. I mean, for all I know, she could be back sooner, but.
Did she fucking run headlong into fucking Shayna Baszler's face or something?
Damn.
I don't think so, but, you know, she might as well have. All right, moving on. According to the Wrestling Observer, the WWE is not completely done with Brock Lesnar, unlike Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis, who were involved in the sex trafficking lawsuit. According to the report, WWE does not plan on bringing back the Beast Incarnate just yet, but they do plan on it will be in the sometime future. Joe, Brock Lesnar, I think it's a wise idea for them to at least keep him somewhere on the menu.
Oh, hell yeah, because AEW would never know what to do with the man. So, you know,
I don't think he could afford him.
No.
Well, it's not even that. I'm sure Tony Khan can ask his dad to drill a couple more oil wells and sell a couple more camels, and they could probably afford them. Thank you very much. We can afford him now.
Oh, okay. Jesus.
All right. It's Joe at SconesandStone.com.
You see, you guys missed that. I knew I had to throw that in there, and I miss you guys. But anyway, you know, they can afford him. They just know that they don't have anything. He's a humongous giant. What is he going to do? Wrestle Darby Allin?
Not yet. Not for at least another couple of months.
I got what it would be.
Yeah.
I don't mean him versus Dean Ambrose. Him versus Mox.
I mean, it would be a good match.
Jonathan Good wrestles two different ways when he's each one of those characters.
I agree. Well, in WWE, yeah, everybody wrestles a different way. But
like a death match.
I would not want Brock Lesnar in a death match, I'm sure, because Brock Lesnar fights stiff as it is. For him to say, "Oh, I can fight stiffer," he's gonna kill somebody, literally.
Please do me a favor, then hire AEW, and put him in the ring with Darby Allin, Acclaimed, and every other little cruiserweight that's in there, so we can finally see some real professional wrestlers come up. But in this case, yeah, the way I see it, they're smart. Brock is a commodity. They can bring him back whenever. And now that leukemia boy Roman Reigns is out for a while, until he decides he wants to come back. Cody needs a strong opponent. Who's stronger and a big fighter than Brock Lesnar? That will really give Cody, I know they had that little thing before, but this with a world title, or should I say universal title, on the line.
Actually, no, they changed it to the Undisputed title, the WWE Undisputed Championship. That's all it's called.
But it's not undisputed. They still have the WWE Heavyweight Championship.
I know. But that's the WWE.
They just need to call it the WWF. It's the World Heavyweight.
Now, I want to ask this question. They do this whole thing to finish the story with Cody Rhodes, right?
Yep.
He's going to hold a belt that his father never had. The Universal title was nothing. The actual belt he should have been fighting for should have been Seth Rollins.
I agree.
The World Heavyweight Championship, which had the lineage of many greats dating back to Nature Boy Buddy Rogers.
But that would be a belt that his dad had, because his dad is part of that lineage.
Yes, but his dad never won that belt.
Yeah, he won the NWA World Championship, but he never won the WWF Championship.
Or in this case, WWE World, which is now Drew McIntyre. But
no, Drew McIntyre's not the champion. It's Damian Priest.
Oh yeah, that's right. Damian Priest won that. I'm sorry.
Yes.
That should have been where Cody focused on. In my opinion. But again, this is WWE and their logic is let's make a bullshit belt that we can put on people. So, but yeah, there you go.
All right. Zoe, your thoughts about Brock Lesnar? WWE's still having interest in Brock Lesnar.
A bunch of idiots.
Really?
I mean, if he's guilty for this crap and they still have interest in him, fuck them. They can burn and go to hell.
Well, again, it's all hearsay and it's not even true. Is it possible it's him? Yes, but
even if it is hearsay, as a promoter, I would not leave it to chance with it. What if it came out, yes, he was involved and he did this and that. I'm going to be sitting there kicking myself for even giving him a chance. Like, oh crap, now, he was already related to WWE. If I'm interested in bringing him back and this all turns out to be facts, I don't want him to have nothing to do with my company.
All right, fair point. Lance, final thoughts.
Yeah, where's he going to go? UFC?
No, I don't think he's going back to UFC after that whole steroid question debacle.
That and well, yes. Hey, Ari, where do we need to send Brock? The other company? All right.
All right, guys. You know what? Let's move along. According to PW Insider, the WWE is going to be having smaller stages for both Raw and SmackDown going forward. The reason for this is so they can have more seats to fill. WWE also be using less pyro. It's called augmented reality. Those cute little picture videos you see as when wrestlers open. Less production trucks, and of course, WWE has also released several people in the production and management as a result of this downsizing. Zoe, I'm going to start with you. What do you think about this downsizing of the whole stage?
I'm used to them always having a big stage. That's definitely going to be a change. Granted, they don't need that big, gigantic stage. All they're doing is walking down to the flipping ring.
Fair point. Lance, over to you. Your thoughts?
I like it because it kind of reminds me of Raw and stuff when I first started watching wrestling in the early 90s.
Okay.
Because the Raw, the original RAW letters, that entrance was not that big, and hey, nostalgia.
All right. Joe, what's your thoughts on having WWE doing a smaller stage?
I think it's a great idea. They need to go back to their roots. Looking at WrestleMania, they refer to going back to pro wrestling, which was a shocker on the Vince McMahon era. That was a taboo. Now they're actually doing what AEW is doing, and they're saying this is pro wrestling. So I think you're going to see them start bringing back that nostalgia, not an actual nostalgia, but the actual smaller stages, what it used to be, and focus on the impact of the matches and hopefully good storyline. So I'm all for them getting rid of all that big, all horrendous setup because it's not necessary.
Yeah. And I'm just reading a couple of the Terry's comments over in the chat, the HWR on our chat room. And he pretty much, in short, real quick on Brock Lesnar, he said WWE can offer more cattle to raise farms. Brock will work the next pay-per-view for 100 Wagyu beef cows. All right.
I would too. Those motherfuckers are expensive.
Oh, God. And finally, we're going to get on to the this Sunday's AEW Dynasty. There's going to be 8 matches that's going to be going on. And we're going to start off with Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm very interested in this match. AEW's done very well in pushing this match. And I want to see these two guys go at it. Now, I see myself Will Ospreay going over. We know that Bryan Danielson is on his way out, so it makes sense for Will Ospreay to get the nod. Lance, your pick.
I'm gonna go Ospreay, but I also think because I've heard little rumblings here and there about what they're wanting to do for the Wembley show that's coming up in a few months, we could be seeing Nigel McGuinness get a start of that little angle in here too. It could be just a stare down between the two.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and even if you watch Collision, you can hear McGuinness constantly trashing Bryan all the time.
Which that's going to be a motherfucker of a match as well as this one.
Yeah, well, that's if it happens. Right now, that's a dream match. Yeah. It's not a reality, unfortunately. Zoe, your pick, Bryan Danielson or Will Ospreay?
I'm going with the Aussie.
All right. Joe, over to you.
You know what? That's going to be a great match. I can't wait to see that. That is a dream match to see these two different styles, which they're almost very similar, but you got youth and you got experience. Even though Ospreay has a good number of matches under his belt, Daniel definitely got like a whole bunch of experience. So this is going to be something to just sit back and watch. So I'm going to go straight for Ospreay because they got to build him to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
I guess it's safe to say HWR has Bruv's back.
All right, moving on to the next match. Adam Copeland, Mark Briscoe, and Eddie Kingston will take on the House of Black in a trios match. Now, to be honest with you, I don't see the reason for Copeland, Briscoe, and Kingston to win this match. I think House of Black should get this match, but I think just because Copeland's on the latter side, I'm thinking they're going to give them the win. Joe, your pick.
Interesting.
All right, Lance, over to you.
I'm here. Give me go ahead with Lance and then come back to me.
All right, will do.
It makes sense for the House of Black, but my fandom side got to go Copeland, Briscoe, and Kingston.
All right. Zoe, your pick.
I'm gonna go with the House of Black.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Joe, are we back?
Yes, I am, and I'm going to agree with the team here. I gotta say House of Black as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and the next match is a TBS Women's Champion. Julia Hart will defend her title against Willow Nightingale. Now, again, this is a fan who says, I want to see Willow Nightingale get this win. But I still think they're going to keep the title around Julia Hart for a while. It makes sense for her. She's a strong champion. And I think for her to hold on to that title is a wonderful idea, you know, as much as I am a fan of Willow Nightingale. Zoe, your pick.
I have to say Willow Nightingale because they're pushing this Willow and Sasha Banks thing. I feel like Willow's going to get it, and then Sasha's going to swoop in and basically steal it.
Interesting. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting play on it. Lance, over to you.
Willow, because Zoe get out of my head.
Joseph, final pick.
You know what? Willow, too. I think she's got with that new, with her manager at ringside, she's got the momentum. Let's face it, Julia really hasn't done. She's good, but she's, you know, she just hasn't really been it. The it factor. She's got like her version of a little Undertaker thing, and another great eye candy, but
she's doing a lot better than she was when she was a cheerleader.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, no, she definitely is, but I think she still needs a lot to go. So, you know, she needs to go back, and I think given that Willow's put so much time and effort, I've counted the lights many times for lesser workers. She needs, even if it's transitional, let her get her first title win. Let her do a little short reign to boost her, and maybe she can move on to something better. And who knows, maybe Julia Hart will go after the main belts, because that's usually what happens after champion loses that secondary belt. They usually go up to fight for the main.
True, or they he could be Jade Cargill and just leave.
Well, hey,
but I don't see that happening in Julia Hart yet. The next match is the AEW Continental Championship, where Kazuchika Okada will take on Pac. Now, I think honestly, because Okada just got this title like last week or the week before, for him to drop it to Pac and make him look like a transitional champion would be a slap in the face. But I don't know. That's just my pick. Joe, what's your pick?
Pac would be damn good, but Okada, I have to agree with you. He just won the belt. They're not going to just do a big switcheroo right off the bat. It would be great if they did, you know, kind of pull off what they did to Drew McIntyre, because they need the shock value. So I think in this point right now, Okada's just going to keep that belt.
All right. Zoe, your pick.
Honestly, I was still shocked that Pac was even in AEW. I ain't seen him so long. I'm going to say, however you pronounce the other dude's name.
Okada. Or the Rainmaker.
That.
All right. And now for the international champion. No, Lance, I'm sorry. My bad. Over to you.
As much as I love the bastard Pac, and this is going to be one hell of a match in and of itself.
Absolutely.
As much money as they have paid Okada, they're not going to put a belt on him and then take it off this fucking quickly. The Painmaker or the Rainmaker is going to keep this belt for at least probably till Forbidden Door, if not Wembley.
All right. And I think I got everybody on this one. Zoe, did I get you? No, yes I did, because I'm like, I'm a little brain dead today. Didn't smoke my weed, so now I'm like, I'm all over the place. Next is the AEW Women's World Championship. Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have not liked Toni Storm as a champion. I don't know if it's a gimmick or she's a good wrestler, but I'm just not liking her, and I don't know why. So, and I love Thunder Rosa, so I'm going to have to pick Thunder Rosa on this one, Joe. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? Timeless Toni freaking Storm. It's a humongous waste. Her gimmick is horrible. Her wrestling is atrocious. She's decent eye candy because she's missing boobs, but
of course.
That's Joe ex-soldiers from
Well, she knows. She keeps putting Kleenex down there because every time she cries, she has to pull Kleenex from somewhere to wipe her eyes. The gimmick, it was funny, for at least a week or two. But it just, you're doing a gimmick where you're Marilyn Monroe, you're, Audrey Hepburn, you're all the greatest actresses of the old time era from the 40s down to the 60s. And you're just not, you're in a generation where people don't even know who was on the movies last week. So the gimmick is horrible. She's horrible, definitely. So my point is she should lose the belt, but then it has Thunder Rosa really won the favor back in the locker room because she did have some issues in the locker room. So when I think a title change should happen and Thunder Rosa should take it, I think she should maybe kind of prove that she can, finally be a team player. I just see them keeping this belt on the timeless tramp.
Really? Okay. Zoe, your thoughts?
I hope and pray to God Thunder Rosa gets it because I'm so sick of Toni Storm. I mean, there's just there's nothing about her that is special. The only thing that stands out about Toni Storm, especially since I gave her this gimmick, is just ignorance. I mean, she's not that great as Tony Khan is trying to let on. She's not special.
All right.
When you said the only thing that sticks out on her, I thought her ass?
Yes.
Well, I'm talking in general as a person in the ring. Half of her moves have me sitting here going, oh crap, she actually hurt that person. She has had to kill that damn pile driver. Scares me.
Yeah, the stump pile driver. Yeah. Even I have to be like, ugh. That kind of, like it runs a chill down my spine. Lance, final pick.
I'm about to let my Mark side show a little bit. And I'm going to go with the woman that was never defeated for her championship. So Thunder is going to take that AEW belt back to the graveyards of Tijuana, Mexico.
All right. And then we have, excuse me, the AEW Tag Team Champion match is going to be in a ladder match. It's the Young Bucks versus FTR. This is the fourth time these guys have gone to each other. So, I believe the last time was at All In where they lost. And now, so this is kind of like, right now, this is like, I can't say the replay, but I'm not really sure if I'm really going to be into this match. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I love Young Bucks and I love FTR, but we also know FTR is going to be leaving AEW soon. So you kind of have to wonder if the Bucks are going to get the titles yet again. And I'm not sure if they should get the titles because there are plenty other great tag teams in AEW that deserves a title run. Joe, your pick.
Oh, God. I love FTR. They are the closest to an old school tag team you can get. Honestly, I hate to point him in that direction because the Bucks are always putting themselves over. You know, now I think they're just on that mission to kind of just really put themselves over. So with FTR kind of going out the door, I could see them just trying to milk FTR all the way till putting them on their backs. So, and I hope that's not the case. I hope that the Mark brothers that they are, that they would do the right thing like they did to Sting and Darby Allin, that they would at least put this great tag team over. Because in a pure wrestling, I would say FTR is the better team. Bucks are good showmen, but the FTR are not showmen. They're just the old school Arn and Ole Anderson in your face. We're going to beat you up wrestling. That's it. So pity, there's not a great manager that can take these guys take them under their wing and really guide them. But I hate to say it, man. It's going to be the Bucks.
Yeah. Zoe, your picks.
I mean, this is a ladder match, so I have to give it to the Young Bucks. They're more built for it. They're able to fly basically off these ladders and do all these crazy tricks and everything. FTR, I respect the hell out of them. I love them to death. They are more of your brawler kind of wrestlers. They're not jumping off the ladder. They're falling off of the ladder. So, unfortunately, I have to give it to the Young Bucks.
All right. Lance.
Well, don't forget that the FTR are also technical guys and submission guys. So, that's a plus for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's a ladder match, though.
Yeah, so in a ladder match, again, I have to agree with Zoe that I think the Young Bucks are going to get their yet another tag team title reign. Lance, final pick.
Well, I kind of think the Bucks are going to use some of their, quote, authority that they have in the company during the match with this whole EVP bullshit that they got going on and do some shenanigans. Like, I don't know, during the match, one of the FTRs going up to the belt, the belt's going to raise up like bullshit that they got going on.
So basically, they're going to pull a Rock at WrestleMania.
Yes. And I'm going to say the Young Bucks.
All right. So I think we're all in agreement that the Bucks will most likely win the championship. So, and then we're on to the final.
We all are.
Yeah. And we're on to the main event match, was the AEW Championship. Samoa Joe will defend his title for the third time against Swerve Strickland. The first time was in a trios match. The second time was in a one-on-one match, and again, Joe managed to escape with the winner for the title. So, I don't know. I have to wonder if 3 times will be the charm. Swerve Strickland right now is very over with the fans. For him to get the title, I think that would be the right choice. But, again, what we want and what's going to actually happen are 2 totally different things. So, I'm hoping for Swerve, but I think Joe might retain. Joe, over to you.
This Joe says, I really want Swerve Strickland to win this title. He deserves the title. I think Joe's a great, he's a good worker. He's a type of guy that looks like he's really like the tough guy who can hold on. Honestly, I feel Swerve has battled for so long that this should be his time. He needs to pull this upset and win this title. He's proven himself. The fans are behind him. He's got Prince Nana. He's got all this stuff going for him. He's got that swagger, that's the Swerve, no pun intended. He reminds me so much of a very young Booker T that I think AEW needs to start capitalizing on these guys. So my pick, and I'm hoping it happens, Swerve Strickland.
All right. And I'm going to be honest with you. I hope that AEW does not, because right now, for them to, use like a copy or kind of previous wrestlers such as Booker T, it'll be just another reason to slam him, and I think it would be a bad idea. I like Swerve Strickland. I like his gimmick himself. He doesn't need to change his name or change his personality to get over it even more. Zoe, your pick.
I mean, I like Swerve's entrance music. That and Prince Nana dancing on the way to the ring. That's the only thing I really like about him. I do not like Swerve. He's improved since he's came there. He's good high flyer and everything. I just personally, I don't like Swerve, so I'm gonna give it to Samoa Joe.
All right, Lance, final pick.
Well, and I kind of hope they do this during Dynamite tonight, where they make this like a chain match, because both of these guys love busting out that looking like Hercules Hernandez's chain that you wear around his neck. Just put it to the wrist, and hey, there you go. But
and that's a very good point, because the chain has come into play several times.
From both men.
Yeah, exactly.
From both men.
So for that,
I'm giving it to Samoa.
Okay, Samoa. But you know what? I would definitely like to see this as a chain match, or the stipulation where you can use the chain. So, but you know what? Like you said, tonight on Dynamite we could very well, add that stipulation. So.
And y'all know damn well they're adding probably like 4 matches to this card just tonight.
Yeah.
Most likely. We've seen that happen before. We've had picks. We thought we had 8 matches, and all of a sudden they added 3 more matches, and I was like, okay, well, I guess. Okay.
And then it turned into they had 8, and then it turned into Fort fucking Team.
I think that was.
I'm going, shit.
Which one was that? That was a Double or Nothing, I think.
Yeah, they doubled that motherfucker.
Well, all right. So far, that's pretty much our picks for for Dynasty. Let's see right now. We got a few more minutes if we want to burn some news and see what we got right now. What's going on with any new news?
Roman Reigns and Keke Palmer are going to be starring in a movie together.
Oh, really?
It's supposed to be. I don't know what it's going to be called. It was just leaked out today that they're working on a movie together, and there were some pictures of it too. It said that it's supposed to be a comedy by Eddie Murphy.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys. Have you guys seen the new WWE Tag Team Championships designs?
Yeah.
Okay. Joe, have you seen it?
No, I have not. What is it? A bigger WWW?
No, actually, this one actually looks pretty good. I have to admit, I like it. It's it looks similar to the world titles. It has it's a big gold belt with the WWE logo, but it has like in big, almost like with a red band, World Tag Team, and then underneath Champions. So it has a bit of a nostalgic look. So I kind of like it.
Well, finally, those dumb fuckers have decided that they're in professional wrestling. Maybe they should go and do professional wrestling and bring things back to the way it used to be. The AEW, which is a lesser, group. Thank you, Lance.
Welcome.
They should. It's still looking like a fucking penny. At least
Joe's never happy, guys.
It's funny. It looks like a pizza sideways. Looks like a pizza. Anyway,
He's that grumpy old wrestling fan.
Yeah, I mean a real wrestling belt. So. But anyway, it's a right step in the right direction. I think they're trying to do it correct. And hey, I hope that they keep going that way.
Yeah, I agree. And for the record, I actually like the new titles of the World and the Undisputed titles. I think they look a little bit the same, but they got away from, oh my God, the fucking Universal Championship and the other one was just looking horrible. They actually look like World Champion titles. Zoe, your pick on your thoughts on this new Tag Team Championship belts?
I like the new ones better than the old ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Lance, final thoughts?
I wish the actual shape of the plate would be a little bit different. But other than that, it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah. All right. I don't know if you guys have never heard about this, but Fightful Select is reporting that Matt Cardona is dealing with a torn pectoral injury, which will require surgery. Cardona suffered the injury during a match against Blue Pain at the Joey Janela's Spring Break 8 event, and that was during the WrestleMania weekend. Cardona is expected to be out for 4 to 6 months. Lance, your thoughts?
Okay, I actually watched this match when it was happening live, and it did seem like they ended this thing quickly.
Yeah.
So now it actually makes sense. So, get well soon, Cardona.
All right, Zoe, your thoughts?
Sorry, I was looking at a fat Sheamus. Anyway.
I guess we were just talking about Matt Cardona, how he tore his pectoral. He's going to be out for 6 months.
Oh, dang, that sucks.
Yeah.
Crap. I wouldn't be shocked if it was longer than 6 months, stage. You're at the recovery time and then getting back in shape to get in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe, final thoughts.
Hopefully he heals up. It's not like, I have nothing really to say on the guy. Hopefully he gets well. I think that's the only thing. I don't know what he did to tear it. Is he actually wrestling in a legit company or what?
Indy.
Oh, he serves him right for working in the shit. So.
I do. I know, boss. I think we might have talked about this last week, but Zoe and Joe, have y'all heard what happened with Chelsea Green?
Oh yeah.
Zoe, don't get ahead of me. Don't get ahead of me. In her hotel room at
No, she was at the hotel bar. She was at the bar of the hotel, and they asked her. Security asked her to leave because they thought she was in a private escort. So she took to Twitter and she pretty much just was like what the hell and this and she announced that no, I'm a wrestler. I'm spending plenty of time, and now I'm being mistaken as a hooker. And I think it was a couple of days ago where the hotel actually issued a personal apology, and that's all Chelsea Green wanted. She didn't make a fuss out. She said, "You know what? I thank you for the apology." And that's sometimes all you really need, Joe.
Oh, look, of course you're going to mistake her for a hooker. Honestly, at least she was adult about it. She didn't take it to court. She didn't go to social media and blast it everywhere.
Actually, she did. She took it to Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's when they apologized, like I said, 2 days ago.
Of course, they were probably called out because of all her Twitter posts. Honestly, at least it was something that, that she accepted their apology. And they have the actual balls unless they literally were getting in trouble by saying that. So they said, well, let's cover our asses and say, well, we're sorry for the hooker. We didn't know the hooker was a wrestler.
Now, there is something funny about this. Okay, everybody knows Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, whatever. He goes on the indie scene. One of his nicknames is the Broski.
Yep.
And he calls Chelsea his Hoski. has for pretty much as long as they've been dating. You know damn well, as soon as that hit social media, she started getting texts from him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh God. Let's talk about some more other ladies. Many of you know that Drew McIntyre's status has been in limbo for some time, but also looks like that Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch have also yet to officially re-sign with the WWE. Now, and also, again, Natalia's contract with the company is set to expire in the next couple of months. But according to the Observer, there's been no talks between two parties as of this point. But they also did point out that since the company has changed hands, they work on the contracts differently than they did when they were under McMahon's reign. So, Joe, I'm not sure what you two should make of that. Should we make something of it, or is it just a matter of time, negotiation, or?
Yeah, you know what? They're probably going to get their feels of what they need, what they want to have put into their contracts. And plus, taking a little bit of a timeout to kind of heal yourself, you heal your body mentally, physically, in Becky and Seth's case, get back to being a freaking parent and, negotiate properly. You're working now with a bigger company now, so weigh your options. They will never leave to go AEW. I can assure you of that. But now you can use that to leverage, and you could say different things. You can say, hey, eventually I want my title back. Put that in my contract. Give me more money or give me a better deal. Give me the Roman Reigns treatment where I don't have to wrestle all the time but make a lot of money. Give me that exclusive contract. I think that's what they're holding off for. As for Natalya, I love Natty. I think Natty's an asset to any company she goes to. I think her usefulness is done in WWE unless she becomes a pure trainer for NXT, which will probably fit her and keep the hearts still in the WWE. Because I see no way she can move either one of them, go to AEW. They just won't be used properly. And if you're not a spot monkey, you're not going to make it. So in this case, I think they're just going to buy their time, take some time off, heal up some injuries, and then decide what kind of contract they want to do. It's now in their court to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, are the chances of any of these wrestlers right now going to AEW? I'm going to say no, but I'm not going to say never. I mean, we've seen a lot of wrestlers who I never thought would even enter AEW, and yet here they are, and vice versa. Zoe, your thoughts on, everybody seemed to holding out on the contracts, re-signings until the very last minute.
Well, that's what they usually do is they wait until the very last minute. They got to discuss on what they want, the agreement and everything. Seth and Becky, they're trying to do the parent thing. They need to heal, especially Seth right now. And Becky's got this whole thing with her book that's taken up a whole lot of her time. She's doing this book tour thing. So they'll re-sign. There's no question about it. Just give them time. It'll come down to the wire, and they'll be re-signed with WWE. As far as Natalya goes, I love Natalya. I love her to death. I forgot she still worked at WWE is the problem. Natty, honestly, I want Natty to go down and train some of these upcoming girls, teach them how to actually wrestle, how to have presence in the ring, and how to sell.
Yeah, absolutely. Natalya, don't get me wrong, aside from being extremely sexy, she's definitely a legend in the ring. And, I mean, she's the longest female wrestler, consistent wrestler that's been in the WWE. I can't think in ages. You could put a lot of other female wrestlers next to her, but as far as the length that she's been, it's been, 15, almost 20 years now, at least? Mm-hmm. Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Has her beaten, but yeah, for as of today, yeah, I would say Natty is one of the best, purest wrestlers out in women wrestling today. I don't think there's anybody else in that locker room. There's better performers, maybe, and maybe a little bit slighter. I wouldn't even say better in wrestling because some of them are just lousy. You could see some of the workers that are a little lousy. But I think in this day and age, Natty is that's pretty active compared to that style when she first came in. So compared to everybody else, I don't think there's anybody left for anything for her to do, so except training.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Lance, final thoughts.
Okay, Seth and Becky are probably re-signing. Natty, okay, she's been in the WWE. Hell, there ain't a hell of a lot of people on the main roster that have been on it longer than her.
Right.
Yeah, she's been there for like 20 years, I think, at least. Like I said 15, but then I'm underselling
I want to say like 16, actually. I think 08.
Yeah.
But
I'm Googling it.
I could see her training in NXT. But then again, I could also see her, honestly, pulling Adam Copeland and going to AEW for like a year and then retiring.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to wrap up this edition of Hardcore Wrestling Rants. I want to thank Terry Boyer, who chimed in as well, and everybody else who just wanted to sat down and listen with us again. We are now on more than one channel. We're obviously over on YouTube on our HWR show page. That's also on Twitter, which is also HWR show, and we're right here on our Facebook page, Wrestling Rants, where we also have the latest news, rumors, and much, much more. Joe, you're over at Southern Realms. What do you got going on?
Well, you can definitely check me out. Do the hashtag Scolders Realm. I am on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I've been putting more into timing for my WWO product, which is a virtual wrestling promotion. So if you want to check us out, just do the hashtag WWO Live, LIVE, and you can check us out on also YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We have tomorrow night, we have our Off Scripts podcast, which basically talks about the business, and you can meet some of the talent that we have that participate in this promotion, as well as the people who help produce the shows. This Saturday at 8 o'clock, and also on Twitch, live, you'll see WWO Zone, which is one of our smaller shows. And then finally, for the end of April, WWO Live, which goes live at 8 o'clock on the 27th on Saturday. So make sure you folks check us out. Again, do the hashtag WWO Live, and you can see all what we perform as.
All right, and I want to thank the lovely Vicious Vixens for joining us. And I know, Zoe, you've got a very busy year. What do you got coming up?
Well, I do the creepy stories every Friday night at 7 p.m. on Facebook. It's on the Nightmare Vixen. Got a really good story coming up this Friday. No, Lance, there is no food involved.
Thank God.
TSW, we are up. We are doing fundraising for several schools. You can check us out on Facebook under Traditional Southern Wrestling. We have a show coming up on May the 4th. We are returning to Lankamp High School. It will be an outdoor show around the bus loop. Make sure you come check it out. Bell time is at 5 o'clock.
And last and certainly not least, he's the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV. Lance, what's going on, Lance Moss TV?
Well, every Tuesday night we go live on Lance Moss TV and Friends at 7:05 Central, 8:05 Eastern. But I've been wanting to say this actually, I think I said it last week, but anyway. A new guitar build is coming.
All right, I can't wait to watch that. I love your guitar builds, and of course your Redneck Gourmets. So,
working on a recipe for that one too, but.
All right. And last, I want to give one more shout out to our good friends, Mr. and Mrs. A, over at BC Games and More. They are on Facebook. I believe they're on the weekends, Joe, at 8:30.
Yes, every Saturday, if not Saturdays, Sundays, but mostly Saturdays, definitely 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Check them out on Facebook. Just do the hashtag BC Games and More. They do everything from retro games to, I think, like sometimes they do contests. So you definitely check them out. They've been strong supporters of HWR. So you got to love them. Each time they go live, they definitely give us a shout out.
All right. And there you have it. So for the Hardcore crew, I am your Hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.
Buy this shirt.